Every day, our politics today.
Thanks to stay with us. You're watching ATN Politics on Atlantic Television Network. And joining us today on ATN Politics is Dr. Henry Bassi. He's a public affairs analyst. Good evening and welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Happy New Year.
Thank you. We thank God for life.
Since the year began, this is my first
This
time.
is your first time on the show, right?
Yeah.
It's good to have you once again.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. All right, then let's delve into today's topic. Abdullahi Sule, Nasarawa State Governor, Abdullahi Sule has disclosed that 461 million naira had been disbursed to each of the 13 local councils of Nasarawa State by the federal government as a signature bonus. He announced that the gesture was the first of such for the council areas. The governor warned that the third tier of government against misusing the funds meant for development initiatives. The federal government has disbursed the money. Every local government is going to get about 461 million naira. It is your money, not 1 naira is coming to the state. We are not taking any part of your money. He said Sule promised that his administration would strictly monitor the utilization of the funds, directing the council chairman to submit the proposals on the usage of the money and liaise with the relevant permanent secretaries to align with his government's development agenda. He charged the council bosses to be prudent and judicious in their spending of the bonus. The governor also issued a marching order to permanent secretaries to sustain the developmental tempo in the state. He warned that in the remaining 2 years, his administration would aggressively pursue its goals, especially in the implementation of the 2025 budget. The governor said as the engine room of their various ministries, the permanent secretaries were to hit the ground running. Well, Dr. Henry, this is about signature, bonus that's been given to them in Nasarawa State, and he's asking the local government bosses to come up with appropriate, plans as to how they're going to spend these funds if it's been disbursed to them. I'd like to get your thoughts on that.
Thank you very much. I want to say that it's not the first time that such warning should be given to government officials, especially at the third tier of government, where Nigerians are being administered at that level of governance. And so the governor issued this warning to the local government chairman of this fund. And don't forget that this fund is coming from the federal government account directly to the local government in Nigeria. And so the warning for me is in the right direction if they will hit to it. Because one thing is to issue a warning, another thing is to adhere to it to ensure that this fund is really, used for what it meant for. And if that is done, Nigerians who are at different local government areas throughout the federation will, at the end of the day, happy that such fund has been used, and not only being used, but for the purpose it was meant for.
That's nice. I would also like you to talk about, Governor Yusuf's statement. This statement he made now about predestination impacts about his political strategy in Kano. Let's talk about that one.
Okay. Governor Abba Yusuf of Kano State is one of the governors we have in Nigeria. He's one of the 36 governors we have in Nigeria. And for him to say that he's not bothered about 2027, the general election, but his interest is about the Kano State people. And for me, it's a nice thing that has come from the days of a sitting governor of a state that is not bothered comes 2027, but his interest is currently serving the people of Kano State. Is interested of serving the people of Kano State. But one thing I would like to emphasize, which is the most important thing, is doing the talking. Remember, each time I appeared there, we talked about that, doing the talking. Yeah. Is it only political rhetorics, just to assure the people, but none of such would take effect at the end of the day? You see, the problem we're having in Nigeria is governance. if governance is taken seriously, I don't think Nigeria will be complaining, or Nigerians will be complaining for anything. It's just that when we come to stage, we are very good of teaching our speeches, and that goes to tell the people that the government is caring for you. So for me, I want to advise Governor Abba Yusuf of Kano State to match his words with action, so that the people of Kano State will see the dividends of democracy as is expected of any government officials, whether governor, president, or anyone at that level, to do the talking. Because when you do the talking, the people will actually enjoy and see that dividend of democracy and say, actually, we are benefiting from the government coming from such a person that is expected of him.
All right, Dr. Henry, do you think there are potential risks as regarding the governor coming out, to publicly dismissing concerns about re-election? Remember, you said about, talking about the re-election come 2027, and we've seen some people who, in the time past, have always come out to say that, they're not interested in the elections, come whatever that comes in. But at the end of it, we see that they come out during election time. What would you make of that? Do you think there are any potential risks attached to his actions coming to, say, dismiss concerns about his re-election?
Judging from what happens in the past, one can take a stand by saying that it might not actually be true of what the governor is saying, because there are some governors in Nigeria, or any elective someone in any position, who come up to say that, look, I'm not interested. But at the end of the day, you see them coming to declare their interest of vying for such position. But for Abba Yusuf, I want to hold him by his word. You understand? But I know that, see, to tell you that power sometimes or somehow intoxicated, and no one whose honor will be infused into his or her mouth that will spew it out by saying that I don't need it. I just take a look at that as being political talk. Come 2026, that is when you will see the real character of Nigerian politicians, being played out. But for Abba Yusuf, this is his fourth term in office, right? And at the same time, if he serves the people, remember what he said. If you read that, you read the story very, deeply, you will see that he said his interest is to serve the people. That his performance in Kano State will speak for him. I love that so much. That if he performs very well, come 2027, it wouldn't be a case. So which means that if Abba Yusuf, as a governor of Kano State, perform convincing the people that, look, I have what it takes to lead you people again in 2027, it's a good thing. The people will sit down and say, okay, you are fit for this job. We will re-elect you again to go and represent us and replicate those things you did in your first term. But I want to still hold him by his word. He's saying, first, let me serve the people of Kano State. So 2027 is not to be, taken for, as important thing currently, because service is demanded of him by the people of Kano State. So let him do the talk.
All right. So would you say that Yusuf's stance on re-election can be interpreted as a tactic, tactic way to shift focus from political maneuvering to governance issues?
That sounds political per se, but I want to say, when you consider the life of an average politician in Nigeria, if they tell you to stand here, you should, take a look at that very critically. Is it actually as you stand here and wait for him? Or should I take the other way around and still come back to meet him here or somewhere else? I think that is what we should be looking at. Look, we've heard many politicians in the past saying something, and when you come up to ask them, did you say this? He said, look, it was a political talk. So I want to believe that it's a mixed feeling comprising politics and governance. So he said, I want to serve my people, that 2027 is not a thing we should hold tenaciously at the moment.
All right.
But service to the people is what I am here for, and I must do the needful. But let's just take him by his word.
All right, service to the people, and let's hold him by his word, just like you said, and we hope he does the needful.
Of course, but we pray.
All right, now we move on to the next story. Governor Abba Yusuf of Kano State has said he's not worried about being re-elected in 2027. Yusuf said he would serve a second term as governor. It is my total belief and submission to the will of Allah that if he so wills, I will serve a second term. If not, I won't. So why should I bother myself? However, Yusuf vowed to resist pressure on his mandate, stressing that his work speak for him. My performance will speak for me, not political pressure, he said. Well, I believe we've actually said a lot more on this, where you talk about his performance to do, well for him as regards to the re-election come 2027, right? All right, so we've already talked on this. Let's move on to APC. The National Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Abdullahi Ganduje, has accused a 2023 Labour presidential candidate, Peter Obi, of libel and inciting his followers to issue death threats against APC spokesman Felix Moka. Ganduje accused Obi of lying by claiming that Moka threatened him and his family in a recent interview. Obi had alleged that Moka threatened his life following his New Year's Day criticism of President Bola Tinubu's administration. He asked if he had really crossed the line after facing alleged threats to his life, family and associates from Moka. Obi's allegation followed a statement attributed to Moka in an interview on Sunday, where he said, Peter Obi has crossed the line so many times and he has what's coming to him. Whatever he gets, he should manage it. In response, Moka asserted that Obi had quoted him out of country. I was simply carrying out his duties as the National Publicity Secretary of the party, holding opposition actors accountable for their statements, as it's expected in a democratic setting. Ganduje further emphasized the importance of free speech, a right protected by Nigeria. Moka has come out to say that he's been receiving threats as regards to Obi's comment. The followers, he said the followers are, pouring in threats for him and he's no longer safe. And Ganduje is here saying that Obi causes all the threats. He's the one inciting all the threats. Let's get your thoughts on this.
Thank you very much. For the past 5 days, this has been the trending news on all the media platforms about the statement of Felix Moka, you understand, concerning a release made by former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi,
yes,
during his New Year broadcast to Nigerians. And I think that was precisely happening on Sunday when he appeared on Arise TV program.
On a television program.
Yes, it was on Arise TV program. Yes, asserting that Peter Obi has crossed the line many times. What he gets, he should manage it. When you look at that statement in particular, you see, there's no two. You see, we as analysts, Moka is somebody I respected so much. It's a renowned journalist. I do not know whether there is something about politics, that holds this contagion of a thing, or it being so contagious that you see somebody that is very honorable would make such a statement that what he gets, he should manage it.
If I get you correctly, you mean that maybe there is some kind of, influence that comes with politics that might at some point make you not to be who you used to be.
Yes, because when you look at most of them all, like I made mention of Felix Moka, it's not today I've known him. I've known him since the day was. In fact, do you know that Felix Moka is an activist, a very strong activist? Maybe being drafted into politics has made him to see things in a different perspective. But however, he is a Nigerian first.
All right.
Okay? Felix Moka is a Nigerian. But that statement for me against Obi, it wasn't really good. It wasn't really good. I think if that happens to someone who reconsider things, for me, Nigerians expected him to say, well, maybe it was a slip of tongue. I am sorry. For him to say I'm sorry, it doesn't take anything out of him. But for him to say, for Ganduje, somebody of his standing politically, Ganduje is not to. See, we have a law in this country that talks about, what is it, there is one law, bill that was signed into law during Buhari's administration that talks about, what you need to say, because it has to do respecting the right of others. When you don't respect the right of other citizens of Federal Republic of Nigeria, it tells us indirectly that you do not value who we are as citizens of Federal Republic of Nigeria. So, Kanduje, for him to say that it was Obi that incites Felix Moka, first, what prompted the response of Nigerian about what Felix Moka said against Obi's statement? See, Obi did not say anything offensive, or Obi's statement wasn't criminal, and it did not in any way to say that area make sure that holistically Nigerian felt your impact of administration than for him to come. I know he wanted to protect, you know, his political party, but in a way, for me as an analyst, Felix Moka underlining that statement, what you get, manage it. It is wrong. It's a threat to the persons of Peter Obi. He shouldn't have said so in the first place.
Well, that's on Moka's part now. On Obi's part now, are there any actions, are there any words in Obi's part that you think might be insightful to Moka's life or his family or relations, even not just Peter Obi, but the obedient movement?
First, when Felix Moka made that statement, it was Obi that came up to say that it's a threat to his life and that of his family.
Exactly.
You understand? He made it very clear. And so it's now, after that statement, that Felix Moka even came again on a national TV to say that he did not say anything that inside. But on that, he was repeatedly, redirected to know that didn't heard of him or coming out of him to say, look, I am sorry, Nigerians. If what I have said against my brother, my fellow citizens was wrong, I am sorry about it. But he did not say it. He still maintained his ground that what he said wasn't inside anything or inside anybody. And Kanduje, being the national chairman of the ruling political party, whether do they take us Nigerians to mean that we don't know our lefts from right?
So, in essence, you're trying to say that you've not perceived any form of obedient movements, basically.
Victor, I wanted to note my point. I wanted to note my point because this is a national TV. You understand? I'm very careful when it comes to usage of words, and I want to be very exact and precise as well, so that whoever that listens to me will know that this was what Dr. Henry Bassey said on so and so program. When Obi made his broadcast on that New Year day, it was for Nigerians and indirectly to the President of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Look, currently Nigeria as a nation is not okay. You need to do something to ameliorate the sufferings of Nigerians. That for me was okay. But Felix Moka, who is the National Publicity Secretary of the ruling party, the All Progressive Congress, coming up to say that Obi have made such statement many times that it is for him, it has crossed many lines. And what he gets, which means from him or whoever, what he gets, let him manage it. My brother, it was a threat to life. I emphasize on it, it was a threat. So for Nigerians who have heard him saying that and come out in many forums, to kick against it, that should send a signal to him to say that, look, what you said as a respected citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you have to retrieve your steps and say, okay, I am sorry. That is what is expected. But he still go ahead to say that what he said wasn't wrong. So I don't know what they think each time they occupy sensitive positions. When Nigerians criticize them constructively, it's like nobody should say anything. Why do we have freedom of information that is your right, my right,
freedom
and the right
of speech,
freedom of speech that is meant for Nigerians? So if you see something and you say something constructively, as long as you are not in any way incite or insult any personality that is involved, I don't think you've done anything wrong. But I expected Felix Moka to come up publicly and say, please, Nigerians, Peter will be my brother, my fellow citizens, I'm sorry.
Do you think that is even possible to start with?
Well, it's not possible in Nigeria, But in Senate clients, it is what? Possible. Because it will dent their image as time progresses. That might not, painted his image black today. But subsequently, or in time to come, that might affect him.
Well, I'm still wondering if that would still be possible because, of course, he's under the umbrella of the party, the ruling party. So probably anything can happen, though. But then I would also like to know, do you feel like the accusation, because this is an accusation actually from Ganduje, right? So do you feel like this accusation from Ganduje might impact, the political relationship between APC and Labour Party? Already we know that they are not in good terms, right? APC and Labour Party. I mean, politically, you understand what I mean. So do you think it's going to affect them probably in the future when it comes to electoral strategies in the future?
Thank you. Ganduje for me is seen
as the father of all progressive Congress,
aside from
the president, who is the leader of the party.
But Ganduje is the national chairman of the AP,
the All Progressive Congress, and not just
a political party, the party that is in power. So as a father and as a nationalist who he is, I was expecting Ganduje, the former governor of Kano State, to come up and say that, look, we are Nigerians. Well, for Felix Muka, who happens to be the spokesperson of my party, to have said this, for me as a nationalist, for me as the party who wants the progress of Nigerians, I want to say this. But for him, not towing the part of what is expected of him, then turning around to say that it was the followers of Labour Party that incites the spokesperson of the APC.
So he said it was Obi that incites his followers.
Okay, the Obi that incites.
Yes, when Obi incites his followers, the obedience, to start threatening Moka by being emotionally blackmailing Nigerians by his words.
I do not know. Victor, as a journalist, a very proactive journalist for that matter, when you read the speech of Obi, Peter Obi, and look at it in and out, were there anything
in that speech
that incites the leading party
or any other personality in
Nigeria? The answer is no.
Well, it's not in my place to answer.
I know.
You are an impartial judge when it comes to that. But for me, as a public affairs analyst, I am saying that, look, Ganduje is a father, if not a grandfather.
There are ways you go about doing things. It will prove or send a signal to the people that, look, you are not saying or doing the right thing at that material time. So I wasn't expecting Ganduje to say something different other than, defending his political party. But let me tell us, tomorrow, APC may not be in power continually forever and ever. And somebody will cite what he is saying today against him or anybody of that political party tomorrow, that this is because you've seen white and you turn it to black. But I wouldn't want it to be that way. But for him, as a political or a political party person who happens to be the national chairman of a ruling party, that shouldn't have come out of him at all. At all.
All right.
As a respected person, like I said, I respected him so much. But as a respected Nigerian, he shouldn't have said so. Because saying so is an aberration to Nigerians.
Okay.
That's not expected of him.
We've had instances of criticizing the government, and we also had instances of counter-criticism by the party at this point in time, and it's now leading to threats, as it were. Allegedly, it's now leading to threats. All right. So I would also want to know, does this incident now reflect on the broader issue of political discourse and civility in Nigerian politics?
You see, when I appeared on the radio station yesterday being Wednesday, the 8th of January 2025, and I said that, does politics means defamation? Does politics means trying to see white and diverted it to be black? Does politics means you cannot see the truth and say it as truth? Or must you change everything to what will please and always please you at every given time? For me, that's not what politics is or are. Politics is all about service to the people. Because as long as
election is concerned, anybody that is occupying any elective position
is on that position by the mandate
of the people. So when you are given
mandate by the people to go and represent them, you need to do the needful to show that impression that you are for the people.
So Kanduje, for a
person of his standing politically in Nigeria,
a lot is expected of him.
Because if Nigeria goes into flames today,
he will be blamed as one of the leaders of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Okay. And so if peace is also projected and maintained in Nigeria,
it will also be known that is one of those persons that have projected peace in Nigeria.
In all, I think when a man is seen to be a peace lover and as well a peacekeeper, it means that his actions tilting towards that is very pure and genuine. It's not devoid of anything. It does not have mixed feelings at all. But it's only pure that, look, we need to do this. So for me, politics is not changing black to white or white to black. It's all about service to the people. So when it is service to the people, you must always, you owe the masses, you owe the public that which is right at every given time. Don't change the narrative to shoot you or to fit your political party, because today your party might be, at the hem of affairs. What about tomorrow? Tomorrow nobody can tell. According to my good friend Peter Edoje, he said tomorrow is pregnant and nobody knows what it gives birth to. So for me, they shouldn't use such words to confuse and deceive Nigerians the more. Because the more they are saying that, it's like nobody in Nigeria that is reasonable, nobody in Nigeria that is thinking straight, or nobody in Nigeria that can say no to what they are saying. For me, he should think before he made any statement.
All right, on to now to our last story for today on ATN Politics. Former Special Advisor on Political Matters to ex-President Muhammadu Buhari, Babafemi Ojudu, has said ex-Governor of Ekiti State Ayodele Fayose lacks honor and can't spell the word politics. Ojudu made the remark while recounting how he defeated Fayose during the 2011 senatorial election in Ekiti State. He alleged that Fayose became governor after his impeachment because he engaged in vote buying and the people of Ekiti State were angry. The former presidential aide disclosed this during an interview on Edmond Obilo's podcast, State Affairs, on Thursday morning. Ojudu said despite Fayose having money to prosecute the election, he defeated him with 68,000 votes, while the former governor had 28,000 votes, according to Ojudu. Fayose has no honor. Now he is a man of dishonor. He became governor again because people are hungry. Vote for a pot of soup and 5,000 naira. Everybody will vote in an environment of poverty. I have been the only one who defeated him in an election. He stood against me during the Senate election. He had 28,000 votes and I had 68,000 votes. This is also a story of how I defeated him. He had the money to spend, but I didn't have the money to spend. Wow, quite interesting. I mean, it's quite interesting to see these political jabs throwing at each other. They throw at each other.
It's funny, Victor.
It's quite hilarious at this point in time. I'd like to get your take.
Thank you very much, Victor. While you were going through that, I was seriously laughing because how do we, as a nation, come to this point that will become a laughing stock to so many persons and even to us as a nation? How do we get to this point? For me, this particular statement made by former aides to former President Buhari, is neither here nor there. If you have personal, issues with,
Why can't you? This is for me.
sitting down here as an analyst to discuss this, for me, Victor, it looks somehow. If there are other stories, I would want to.
Well, he delved into the aspect of, vote buying, because it appears that vote buying happens to be the norm in some, election processes in Nigeria. Well, he delved right into that, and it says that, well, one would want to vote, if you can afford a pot of soup and 5,000 naira. I'd also like to get your thought on that.
Well, vote buying in Nigeria, it's being seen as a norm. Why do I say it's seen as a norm?
All right.
Is that when it's election time, people are lured into. And not just that. I want to begin
On the perspective that
Nigerian society
is being impoverished
to the extent that somebody can come to your house and say,
I'll give you 10,000 naira.
I want you to take this thing, go to that man's house and do so and so thing. That is what the leaders have reduced Nigerians to. Have you ever heard that a politician in America has bribed the voters to go and vote for them? Or in UK, Canada, or any of these advanced countries? Have you ever heard about that? The answer is no. So for me, in Nigeria as a country, politicians have seen vote buying as a norm during any political dispensation. That's why they will come up to tell you that it doesn't matter. I have what it takes. My money is there. I can give it to you. What do you want? I will give it to you. Just go there and just come and show evidence that you voted for me. I will give you so and so amount. And when they pay us to do that, do you expect them to do the needful for the people?
So I'm also trying to get my head around the statements by Ojudu saying Fayose lacks, honor and cannot even spell politics. Probably he might be, due to what some people are saying, that he might be referring to the fact that he do not know the in and out of politics, the nitty-gritty of politics.
Thank you.
Because if you do not know the nitty-gritty of politics and you happen to be there, definitely it should be that you maneuver your way to being in power, right? And that's where the vote buying, I guess, comes to play.
Looking at that, such matter that has to do, I defeated him with so and so amount of vote. In fact, when he said, he went as far, Baba Femi went as far as saying that Fayose don't even know how to spell politics, for God's sake. Is it what we should be discussing?
Well, I think he's trying to say that in a literal sense.
Is it Victor?
In a literal sense, I think he was trying to say that.
Victor, by my standing as an educationist,
All right.
I want to tell you, sitting down here to discuss matter like this for me, Nigerians can be angry with me. To be frank, I should be talking about something more serious than this political tantrum, aspersions from one persons to another, because as far as you had opportunity, he also said same to Baba Femi. So for me, please, I
beg your pardon, and with due respect, I want to say
no to this. Is it this particular one?
I don't want to comment, but for the
issue of vote buying, like I said, the politicians see it as a norm.
And would this ever have an end? Would this ever come to an end? Because, are there going to be a time where there will be a free and credible election? We've been hearing that elections, they are free, they are credible, but then we still have reports of some, misconduct and all of that. But the question is, are there going to be a time where all of this will no longer be heard?
Thank you. You see, 2023 was a time Nigerians, I've never seen such encouragement that Nigerians had in 2023 general election. In fact, it was a time I described as one of the best time in the Nigerian election. But that hope was dashed, was completely dashed. We have so many laws in place regulating the conduct of election in Nigeria. But the question is, do politicians respect electoral laws? I don't think that Nigeria is a lawless country where there are no laws. We have laws. Laws that if you obey, if everybody obeys, it will bring sanity to Nigeria. But do politicians respect the laws?
All right.
That is the biggest question.
I think that's
so for me, electoral laws have been amended over times. Many things have been inculcated into the electoral laws, and yet we've not got it right in terms of organizing. I mean, the people's election. What I mean by people's election that when you go out there to cast your vote, you know that your vote will be what counts at the end of the day. But what we are seeing is manipulation here and there. And at the end of the day, what Nigeria will get is nothing less than what they expected. So for me, Victor, until it will take just a leader to put things right in this country, to say no to all these manipulations, to say no to cheat in election, to say no in vote buying, to say no, you cannot do the wrong thing and expect right thing to happen. There's nobody that will say that you go to do wrong thing and you expect right thing to come out from that same wrong thing you did. Victor, it's not going to happen.
All right, then.
It takes a courageous leader to say no to most of these things and put an end to it. And when we do that as a country and as leaders, Nigeria will be great in the Committee of Nations.
Well, until then, thank you so much, Dr. Harry Bassi, for, your insightful thoughts as always, and also your time for being here in Atlantic ATN Politics on Atlantic Television Network. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Victor.
Well, this is where we wrap it up on this episode of ATN Politics. Remember, we're open for adverts placement, news and events coverage, personality, society and political interviews, product, service promotion and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Victor Peter. Sports news comes up next. Stay with us.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN. From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATM.
Every day our lives are changed by history,
We are one people, all of us.
leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what they want.
I have fought very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATM. From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATM. From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATM. From the lines.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This is ATM Genz, and as you all know, ATM Genz is a prime excellent entertainment show covering all genres of the industry. It has a focus to entertain, inform, and to provide mental relaxation with conversation through youthful perspective.
On ATN Entertainment, we bring to you latest entertainment news and updates, interviews with your favorite celebrities and industry experts, performances by local artists, and of course, interactive segments including viewer polls and giveaway.
Yes, there you have it right there. Okay, so let's head on to the top trending stories of today. Yes, on Pidgin, Nigerian Pidgin English finds its way to Oxford Dictionary.
Skit maker, I might leave this earth soon. Kata Efe.
Charity, I spend 15 million naira every day. Singer tells us. Spyro says that one.
Discipline, it's un-African to beat your child. Shane Kitty.
Yeah, okay, so those are our top trending stories for today, and don't forget that we are open for advert placements, bookings, and court martial. You can connect with us on all our ATN social, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok at Atlantic Television Network 1.
and on X, Atlantic TV Net. And you can watch us live on our website at www.atlanticnetwork.tv.
Yes, there you have it, baby. We'll go on a short commercial break. When we come back, we delve right into our conversation, and we're going to be having an interesting guest in the studio. When we come back, we'll unveil who our guest is. Stay right there.
To the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN. From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN. From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATM. From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATM. From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATM.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show, and we have our guest, and this guest is an amazing person. He means so much to me, actually. It's no other person than Frank Ezokoli. He is known as love cardiologist across social media, and he's a first-class graduate of English and Literary Studies from the University of Port Harcourt. He is also a certified relationship counselor, the CEO of the Love Cardiologist Cryptex Academy. And you know the most interesting thing about this person? He's also an excellent public speaker and the author of the bestseller handbook for university students titled The Complete Student, The Secret of Balance Finally Revealed. Mr. Frank.
The hype. No. It's worth it now. With your start, man. That's really dope. Actually, that's really dope.
Thank you for being on the show with us.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
on our first story today, Oxford English Dictionary has expanded its lexicon with 20 Nigerian words and expressions in its latest update. The newly added entries include popular terms like Japa, Albiru, Eba, 419, and Abi, among others. These words, deeply rooted in everyday lives of Nigerians, highlight the influence of pidgin English, street slang, and cultural expressions that are increasingly gaining global recognition. Notably, some of the words such as Japa and Jand appear as both nouns and verbs in the dictionary. Pronunciation guides have also been provided to assist non-Nigerians in accurately articulating the words. A Nigerian English consultant to the Oxford English Dictionary, Kingsley Ugwangi, announced the update on LinkedIn on Tuesday. He expressed excitement over his role in drafting the words and recording their pronunciations. Among the entries, Japa is defined as the emigration of Nigerians to other countries, especially those in Europe or North America, in search of further education, employment, or economic opportunity. Abiru is described as a person, usually a boy or young man, who works as a tout, typically at car parks and bus stops, collecting money from passengers and drivers and ushering passengers onto vehicles. The term 419, widely known in Nigeria, is defined as fraud, now usually perpetrated on the internet, involving requests for advance payment in return for a substantial share of a large amount of money, which ultimately is never given. Frequently as a modifier, as in 419 email, 419 scam, etc. Here is a complete list of Nigerian words added to the OED. Number 1 on the list, 419, Abi, Adire, Abiru, area boy, cross carpet, cross carpeting, Eba, Edo, Gele, Jand, Janded, Jaba, Kanuri, Kobo, Naija, Suya, Yahoo, Yahoo boy, Yan Dust. Oh, okay. And I think they will still add more even.
Like, I feel more has to actually come in. We should just wait for it, because this is actually amazing. Where you have words coined from our normal daily lives find their way. But who else? Who better to help us delve into this topic but the amazing Frank? So
exactly.
Frank,
I love it so much that I have him on this.
Really, Frank, what do you make of this particular one?
Pidgin English is rooted from Nigeria.
Okay.
And when I saw this story, I was like, wow, there is a lot of things to be learned from this.
Okay.
I mean, do you remember in year 2?
Yes.
When Mr. Ibe came and he was like, update guys, they've added some words to Oxford.
Yes.
In year 2 it was Mama Put.
Yes,
English dictionary,
yes.
Oxford. It was Okada. And it's, we have Keke. They added, Keke is usually tricycle.
Yeah.
But now, we see new words. We see Japa, we see our own. And I have a problem with Abba. Why is he defined as only a guy? We don't have female ones.
Well, I think it's
generally
because
and popularly,
popularly
guys.
For guys,
It makes sense to me. But then, really, it's really nice that the English language is doing this, and there is a lot of things to learn from it. Number 1 is this. Even though the English language is highly prestigious, it's still stooping low to other languages to pick things.
Yes.
And it's something to emulate, no matter how big you think you are, no matter how high you think you are. Come on, come down. Because if you don't come down, you won't go back up.
Word.
So they don't even see that. To grow. I really wish Mr. or Dr. Ibe was listening. I think I'm going to gist him about this.
Yes,
I'm going to call him as CEO, because that's his area, social linguistics.
Yes.
And then again, it has to do another thing. I'm telling the youths, because I mean, ATN is all about the youth, right?
Yes, it is.
I'm telling them to be consistent.
They are ATN Gen Z.
Gen Z, right?
Yes.
I'm telling them to be consistent. Whatever you're doing, no matter how stupid you think it is, come on, keep doing it.
Yes.
People are going to pick it up. I mean, the first time the United States citizen heard of Japa, we were like, what thing did this one? Now I did the addiction.
Exactly. Exactly.
So keep being consistent. And I think Nigerian is fast growing in the English language. Yes, we are a second language user. Nigerians are second language users of the English language because we have first user, which is the native speakers, and then we have the ESL, which is us, English as a second language. That's how we use English, and then we have the foreign people that use English as a foreign language. So, as second language users, English language in Nigeria plays the role of uniting people. It's like a lingua franca, just like Pidgin is doing in River State. You know, River State we have a lot of languages, but Pidgin, everybody they hear, and it always makes sense. Okay, so the English language, I want Nigerians to use it proudly.
Yes.
There was something Chinochebe said. When he was talking to them, those British guys, he said, "You forced this language on me. Now allow me to use it how I want.
Exactly.
I'm going to domesticate it. I'm going to Africanize and Nigerianize it.
Exactly.
I'm going to use them how I want to use them. Guy, you know, go beat me.
Exactly.
And as I take talk and give you, you can understand.
And now they're actually adding into the dictionary.
Our own girl, guy,
because it's getting relevant now.
Our own girl, guy.
And the thing is, I feel English can actually make sense if it doesn't get from other people. English will not be English if it doesn't get from other people. I think that's why they are making progress, and that's why they are
growing, continue growing.
Continue growing, really, because if you check, they are really, what's an English word that is not borrowed from
something?
Do you get it's borrowed? When you check those words, you see etymology right now. Eba don't enter it. Eba don't get
guy.
Our ladies time now don't get etymology. It's coming from Nigeria, from the time of you see all these histories, and they'll give you sentences where you could use them. I think this is actually
and more will actually be added. More will still be added.
Nigerians, the wine.
More will be added.
And the wine was so funny.
And do you get me? The wine. You want wine?
When Abi is already there, you didn't wine go so
exactly.
And
there's this thing Nigerians do where these Americans and these English language people, where they all pick these words from, it's from social media.
Yes.
From social media.
Yes.
And Nigerians, statistically, we are the #1 nation that uses Facebook in the world.
In fact, almost all the platforms.
Social media, Twitter, now we get them guy. TikTok, now we do. And I like the way they consciously, proudly use their language.
Yes.
They know they form anything, guys. Really. So let's do this. I encourage Nigeria. This is a big shout out to us. We are getting in, but then let's not also forget our grassroots. Let's not also forget our grassroots. And there was something you mentioned, Eric, about this is why English continues to grow. And this is a mistake that I think Latin language as a language, this is a mistake I feel they made. Because once upon a time, the Roman Emperor or Empire was the biggest out there. You know, Britain was colonized by Rome. Now, the Roman language, Latin, was so strict. If it's not Rome, if it's not Latin, it's not Latin.
Yes.
We can't borrow you can't borrow, it must be this. And this is why people started to deviate. After Latin came French. Before this English that is dominating.
Yes.
And one of the primary reasons English is
because
dominating, it's free.
It's free.
It's free, guy. You can
customize.
I think I want to use the word
customize. Yeah,
you can customize it how it suits you.
Yes.
Do what you want to do with the language, but let's keep the key. Dr. Mazi will call it intellectual competence and communicative competence. Even if it's Nigerian English I'm speaking, if I'm talking to an American, he understands. And he's talking to me, I also understand again. So I feel
actually knew Frank would be the best person for this because he was in my department, English department, and he's first class. Wow. He was our course rep, and you know, Frank was very amazing. Like he was out there.
Yeah, who best to help us dive into this topic? And
without him,
I like the way
he's analyzing.
Yes, he's analyzing.
You care,
and I also like the way English is flexible.
Yeah,
it helps you, like it helps you do what you want and still keep in that major factor there. I think that's actually an amazing thing. So keep doing what you do, guys.
Nigerians,
the word is actually watching. The world is actually watching. And really, before you know now, some of these words so they use this you dey wine. Go find a way enter dictionary.
I don't believe say Yahoo boy enter dictionary.
I think Abeg don't even enter.
Yes,
Abeg day now.
Abeg has been there.
Bro. Yahoo boy don't.
Oh, if Yahoo don't enter,
hey guys.
I really would have.
We still have.
I would have how to update my dictionary to really see the words and really go through them and see the things they use and how they use them.
And there is a pronunciation.
Yes, there is a pronunciation. There's a pronunciation. You know, dictionaries now have places where you could just tap the speaker point where you tap and you hear the pronunciations. You get the proper pronunciation.
How Google will say Abi.
It to be like
Jaba, you know that
Eva.
My Google assistant will come in Sopruchu.
They'll be like Japa.
But this is really beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay, let's move on to our next story. Popular Nigerian skit maker Kata Efe has disclosed that he might be leaving this earth very soon. Kata Efe, in a post that has caused a stir on the internet, stated the date he might depart. In a now controversial post on his X handle, Efe told his followers that he might sound funny until they regret losing him. Sharing a heartbreaking emoji, the skit maker wrote, sharing a heartbreaking emoji, the skits maker wrote, might leave this earth January 10th. Taking to the comment section, a user, Oluwaseun, asked, if you leave, who go they give us meat skits? In response, the skit maker said, it's funny now until you lose me and you will later regret it. I mean, I do not know what this is about, but I don't think that is that is something he should be joking with, because it's like he's jabbering from it.
I don't think this is actually a joke.
Is this a PR for his music?
No, I don't think this is either a PR for his skit or whatever. I think this is something we need to look into, because young people nowadays have issues and they don't know how to go about it. They tend to put it out there on social media and we look at it, okay, these guys are skit makers, they are funny people, they come and do something. Do you get? So we are quick to dismiss and call it PR, but this might be somebody trying to tell you he's going through stuff and want to get feedback from people. I think he needs to be checked, and why he said he was going to die on that particular day needs to be figured out. Really, I think there is more to this. This is not just some joke, and life is not something
maybe
somebody should
there is
joke
a music
about.
he wants to release or drop, or maybe there's a skit he wants to release or drop, because why would you be saying you're leaving Earth on 10th?
I stormed his Twitter.
Okay.
I entered his ex, and not his ex-girlfriend, his ex account.
Very funny.
Because the way I said it entered his ex, I said something also. But I went through his ex account, and first off, I saw that post. Yes, on the 10th, I might be leaving this place with that heartbreaking emoji that we usually use when a girl
somebody don't break your heart.
And I was like, don't be shy, so. The next message that came out, I don't know, it should be 5 hours ago. He said, I don't want to die again. Guy, are you taking us for a ride?
Do you get?
What if somebody spoke to him? What if he had that conversation, and so I don't know, but something happened in my life then that anytime I hear death or somebody talk about death, see, like, it's not something you should joke about. Do you get? I feel him coming to say, I don't want to die again. Okay, he had already said this. He can as well take it down. But you know, life is funny. People don't already screenshot them. People don't already screen grab them. People don't already repost them. They share them. Do you get? It's already on the news. So probably somebody spoke to him, encouraged him, and told him things that, okay, this is actually the way you should go about this. Maybe he's in a tight spot, he's in a situation and doesn't know how. He felt like, okay, taking his life would be the best solution in this case. And somebody now spoke to him, spoke life to him, gave him an encouragement. Most young people you see today, they might be living the life, jumping, hey, going from one
down,
something is wrong. Something is wrong. Sometimes people don't have that friends where they could confide in and tell interesting things they cannot tell to their parents, because parents these days have that thing where they compare you with somebody else,
or they have a picture on your head that they want you to be, how you should turn out.
Do you get? So he might be facing, he might look, okay, he's coming, you see him, he wears his suit, he wears his jacket, he wears his trouser, he dresses well, he comes out and you feel like, oh, this guy is low, I like him, he's doing very well, I want to be like him, but you don't know that deep down, bro, is going through stuff.
Happening.
Really, I don't think, I think whoever spoke with him did a very nice job, because he might probably had been on his way to wherever, right now. Really, you can never tell. You can never be that careful.
I think he kind of got would I say uneasy with the whole thing trending about. Even this guy, one of the guys I follow on Twitter, Blaze.
Okay.
Blaze already did a Gone So Soon Glory flyer for him.
These guys are really
Gone So Soon, and they even predated it January 10.
Can you imagine?
He never reached, don't do fly.
Can you imagine?
But then Carter said that what he meant was, if the music he's going to drop on the 10th doesn't blow, he will die. Do you see? I tell people, never really take social media information with all your heart.
Exactly.
Those guys are just cruising.
Really?
I told my guy that you'll be surprised at this Cubana Burna Boy saga.
Stage
guy to get the word audience, and it's working.
Yes, it's
Their
working.
accounts are growing. Burna Boy, as big as he is, gained extra 500k followers because people don't like Cubana. They sympathize with him, and Cubana is kind of losing followers. You know, those kind of things. So it's all skits. These guys are funny people. Literally everything about them is a joke.
Exactly.
When they're even serious, we
don't even know.
You see, and that's the point I'm driving at. When they are serious, we don't know. But then, should we take everything they say as a joke? Do you get where should we draw the line and know when somebody is serious? Actually, we might say, okay, now they cost it for themselves. They cost it for themselves because they've been joking. They've been joking. There's that tale where they say somebody will come and say, thief is coming, everybody will run. Okay, my house is on fire, my house is on fire. People run and come out with water and nothing will happen. And when the house is actually on fire and he's screaming, nobody answers. Do you get? I think they should also work on themselves and know when to say things that are real and not real, really, because you pull out stunts to gain attention, and with something as serious as death, my brother, that's a little too much.
Someone we love, we vibe with. His comedy is very unique.
Yes,
it's very authentic and original. It doesn't imitate anyone. It's someone I really like vibing with on a normal day. I beg, if you're listening to this, your song will blow. I
beg, easy pressure actually.
Okay, let's move on to our next story.
Yes.
Okay, I think Eric is letting me read today. Okay, Afrobeat singer Oludipe Oluwasami David, popularly known as Spyro, has revealed that he spent over 15 million naira annually on beggars. Okay, the Who Is Your Guy Corona disclosed this while lamenting about the constant pressure he faces to assist fans. He revealed that people come to him for assistance both online and offline without reciprocating the assistance. Despite his constant acts of kindness, Spyro recalled a bitter experience where a stranger insulted him simply because he could not give money at that time. On his Instagram page, he wrote, "It's really hard being a celebrity in Lagos. I told a guy I didn't have anything and would see him the next day. He rained insults on me. Every day I step out of my house, I spend a minimum of 100k on gifts. Now let's do the math. Let's say I go out 3 times a week. That's 300k per week, making 1.2 M per month. And that's about 15 million naira a year. Kilo day suppose even day that dictionary.
Kilo day will soon actually find his way to that dictionary actually.
Even where so I'm really curious. I want to know, you know, like what do you guys make of this? Like, do you think he's actually, or he's exaggerating 15 million naira yearly on just beggars?
Well, Spyro is bigger than 15 million.
Okay.
Yeah, we know that.
Okay.
And we know that he is not someone that shows off a lot.
Yeah, okay. No. You hardly see him.
Yeah, you remember what he said, 3 times a week he goes out. So he's somebody that is usually indoors.
Indoors, yeah.
And yes, I know I am going to one day get to that stage of being a celebrity. But even as I am now, MJ, you know about my Love No Supposed to Have movement every month, where people contribute money, give to me, say, okay, go to the streets and give people money, food, which I do every month. That little one, sometimes it wouldn't get to everybody. And then you see those that we are not able to get something. So I saw that story, I was like, this is me.
Relatable.
Yeah, I get. So I don't have any reason to that spiral. Like, and it's not like I have so much money. There's another guy, Lord Zeus. I don't know if you know him.
Lord Zeus, Onicha.
Exactly. Good. One day he came out and was like, I want to stop this thing now. It's not my money. People are giving money to give to people. If you ask me, I say I don't have, they're insulting me. Being a celebrity is not easy.
It's not easy.
At all.
Really.
It comes to a lot of things.
Something Ronaldo said, CR7 said, if he could pay to stop being a celebrity, he would have paid. Because the camera goes with you everywhere, even down to your bedroom.
Really?
No, it's not easy. And then you see young people now trying to grow their Facebook, grow their TikTok.
They're on fast lane.
When you get there, you would prefer to shut your door and stay in your house.
Sincerely.
Because there's nothing as being very simple,
and discreet,
living
you
your
don't know what you have because you're
I'm telling you,
and you're unknown, you're untouchable.
Really, because you see us now, we could actually just walk on the road. Because we could walk freely on the road. There's no, we don't have bodyguards, we don't have camera rolling over us, except when we come to do our jobs, we have cameras everywhere. But then on the road now you can walk freely. But these guys cannot go out without okay, this is going to give me, this is want to take selfie, and then
why do I feel attacked?
At some point it feels quite embarrassing. But then they just have to, because they just have to cope with it. And then when it comes to this thing of giving, some people have it in them to give, and when they don't have to give at a particular time, it's seen as, okay, this guy doesn't want to give me, he's stingy, but he gives to the other person. Then why he don't give me, he reached my turn, now he can't finish. Do you get? So they will feel he's lying, but then they don't know that, okay, this guy probably doesn't even have, but he's trying based on the fact that, okay, this is my fans. These are my fans. This is to show them love. Do you get? But people insulting, that's way too much. Really, that's way too much. And really, Nigerians need to learn this thing where, okay, when somebody says I don't have, just believe it that I don't have. Because if I have, you know, I will give you.
These are the attitude that make those that even want to help, they don't help anymore.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, really.
And sometimes you see them, they feel entitled.
The entitlement mentality
because they
is
follow
something
on
else.
Facebook. The work he puts in behind the door.
Actually,
You are not there.
You are feeling entitled to his money that you worked hard for. There was a lady.
Please, all those things should go in 2024.
Actually,
We're not entering 2025. Those things.
like you say, there was
a lady I walked up to.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, okay, a professor in my church. I said, Mommy, I have this monthly movement, Love No Supposed to Have, please support. She said, okay, I should reach out to her 2 days later.
Okay.
That was on Tuesday, because that was a Sunday. So Monday, Tuesday, I should remind her on Tuesday so I should send something for. It's not for me, it's for the poor people. I don't take a dime from it. 1 night I don't enter my pocket. On Tuesday, I sent her a reminder. Mommy, this is that. She ignored. She read, she ignored. I was like, okay, no problem. I still went on the movement for that month.
Okay.
With the little we gathered. And she saw me the next Sunday in church. And she was like, oh, Frank, so sorry. I didn't remember. I wanted to. I said, no problem, Mommy. I know you would have done if you remember, or if you had a chance. And she told me something that shocked me. She said, you're the first person that I have forgotten to give money to that is not angry. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because when they promise students money, the students will so much now feel entitled. That if you no one give you, leave her.
True.
Nothing goes spoil.
Leave her. She still gave, and she gave more
That she would have
Can you
given.
imagine?
Because I have this mindset. I even posted it on my status last week. I said, if someone promises you money and they don't deliver, chill. And if money never reach your hand, we didn't promise you, never budget them.
No budget time, really.
Because it's when you budget it and then it doesn't come, you feel so sad and frustrated. This guy don't mess me up. So Spyro is now going out giving money to people that, and you know, reach you, they insult them. Tomorrow now, you want me to come and come give. Doesn't make sense. Please, Nigerians, Gen Zs especially, and I think
Gen Z, please talk to them on our behalf. Please,
get this mindset.
please talk to them on our behalf because
Entitlement, it's you have to give me, you have to give me, you have to give me. Man, I don't even enter boyfriend, girlfriend. Man, I don't even go there. MJF.
NJF chop you. NJF chop you. You will just she will just come for you. She will just come for your neck. She will just come for your neck. But honestly, the entitlement mentality thing needs to die down really because it's not fair.
Yeah,
this guy is working for his money and it is his money. Do you get? And it is his will to give. Like guy,
but please, if you promise me money, please give me the money.
No. If I promise you money, I'll give you. I'll give you. You just need to chill and wait for the money to come because when the money comes, I will remember you. That's some people might not remember you, but then she will not be your money. The money never reach your hand. Now when it reach your hand, you say it be your own. Do you get? So please, going around insulting people because they promise you money or blah blah blah. That's really out of it really. So
yes, now we be the Gen Z. Now we be the Gen Z.
Oh dear Lord.
All right, guys, this was really an amazing time. Oh my God, thank you so much, Frank.
Yes,
thank you
really,
so
Frank.
much.
Thank you so much for coming.
I don't even want this to end, but you know, because of time, sport has to come up.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Don't worry, we're gonna have you again. We'll have you again.
Jesus. Okay, guys, don't forget that we are open for advertisements, bookings, and commercial. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1.
And on X at Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website at www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Remember, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching.
Yep. See ya.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN. From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.